recently a boy died because he inhaled lighter fluid. Lighter fluid is a drug. Well, apparently it is, and it's widely available. And the problem with drugs that are widely available is that people start experimenting with them, like flakka, and they walk out into the street and get hit by a car. In other words, new drugs are a problem. And the thing is, with new drugs, they are detected too late. They are detected when accidents happen, when they are in the street. And of course, the police wants to be ahead of the curve. They want to detect these drugs before they actually hit the streets. So they can develop some knowledge. And a place where drugs are widely available is the dark web. I remember my first time when I went to Silk Road, drugs everywhere. I was like, can I buy all this? That's crazy. But it is possible, and it's a place where drugs are widely available. And this brings us to our solution. We built a monitor for the dark web, which traces drugs and shows new drugs when we start to release. We'll show this in a demo shortly, but first let me talk about how I think this should be implemented. Well, if you're a police officer and you walk into your office in the morning, you open up your browser, go to the monitor, and just see what had happened. What are the new developments in drug sales on the dark web, on the Silk Road, for example. Or in task force meetings of drug task forces, what is our impact on the sales on the dark web? What is the impact of our actions, our arrests? What does it do? Well, let's go to the demonstration. It's called Drug Hunt. First you see the upcoming drugs. This is the first thing you see when you load up our monitor. You see the upcoming drugs worldwide. In our data set it was Molly, that was the upcoming drug. It's some time ago. The drugs that are shown here are drugs that have few listings, but that are increasing, have a sudden increase in listings. So at first there were maybe 5 listings, and then all of a sudden it became 10, 20. So this is a drug that's clearly on the rise. And if you switch from global to national, you see that the spike for Molly in the Netherlands is later than the spike on a global level. So if you see that on a global level the drug is on the rise, you might be able to predict that it will also hit the Netherlands, and that it is a good thing to gain more knowledge about this drug before it comes here. Okay, let's go to the vendors, because this is also an important thing. Vendors indicates the big players in the market, both globally and nationally. Again, switch at the top, so you can easily switch between global and national. And a fun fact, there's a big Dutch player, he shows up here, Holland Online. He's in the top 5 of the world. He was caught in 2015 by the police. As you can see here, arrested, Holland Online. He was arrested, so this gives a tool for the police to identify new big players. And per drug shows a combination of drugs and vendors, so you can easily build a profile of a certain vendor. He sells mostly this and also a little bit of that. Let's go to popular drugs, because not only new drugs are important, also the drug trends in general. If you see a sudden spike, it might indicate there's a new player. It might indicate you have to take some action. For example, if there's a spike in cocaine in the Netherlands, it might indicate there's a new player you want to arrest, you want to do something about. And the good thing about our monitor, you can already implement it, and it's very easy to add new modules. You can, for example, add an average price development as a new tab, and you can easily see, hey, price is declining. Could indicate that it's more available and that people will start buying it more. Let's do something about this. Let's get more knowledge about this drug. Well, in short, this monitor allows the police to detect new drugs before they hit the streets, identify new and big players, and monitor overall drug trends. And it makes large amounts of data easy to digest and ready for the police to act on. Thank you.
Wow! Great. Questions? 2 minutes. Marius.
Would you like to? Yeah?
So, you say you can identify new drugs, but there are a lot of things sold on the dark web. How do you make sure that what you monitor are actually drugs?
Well, it's important to develop some algorithms to look at the titles of the advertisements, so you can easily filter out which are drugs. Usually they're listed with grams, So if there's something in grams on Silk Road, probably it's drugs or it's something related to drugs. So you would have to develop some algorithms to filter out those categories. And on Silk Road, actually, there are a lot of categories already with the advertisements, so you can easily select those categories to monitor.
Yeah, Ollie.
You mentioned that a global spike could predict maybe a local spike. Did you do any real research regarding that, or was it just one example that popped up that might be relevant?
This is one sample that came up in our data. We were limited with our data set, of course, in what we could research. It could predict this. It's not necessary that it definitely predicts it, but more availability on a global scale probably means there will be more availability in the Netherlands as well. No definite correlation there yet. Requires further research.
30 minutes.
Ja, helemaal snel.
Well, you mentioned that you can see trends, but can you also see where you can locate the drugs? Because if you want to act on those trends, you have to know where to act.
Well, the dark web is known for anonymity.
Yeah.
So it's just with this monitor is difficult, but you could easily combine it with proper research and proper detective work like they use to catch the other vendors.
Tijd is op, dankjewel.
Next week.